Welcome back, Wagoneers, to another exciting episode of the Wasted Wagons podcast. And on this special edition of Uncovered, we have with us Mr. Scott Martinez. He is a member of Porkchopitoulas, which is going to be one of the teams competing at Hogs For The Cause. We are very happy to have you here with us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We also have Russell, a member of the podcast, who is also a member of this team.
Don't neglect me.
Well, welcome, Russell. Happy to have you on board as well.
Russell's.
I was forced.
I don't know if you knew, but on Team Porkchopitoulas, Russell has a nickname, Hot Tub.
Oh.
You know about
I did not know that.
I can take a guess why he's got this nickname.
We'll get into that later.
It's because he had a hot tub before he had a house. Is the reason. Anyway.
Okay, so Scott, we'll kind of get into just some background information. Can you tell us how long you've been involved with the team, and if you know any details about the origin of the team itself, you can let us know.
Yeah, about 7 or 8 years ago for me. I think the team's been going on about 11 years. It's a bunch of high school buddies kind of got together and just started doing it. Started pretty small. I'm not sure exactly how they started it, but it started through high school friends, I think, and just kind of grew from there. About 30 guys on the team at this point.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
And I mean, you can add teams. I mean, y'all are basically cooking pork, basically.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
if you get a cooking team together, you can join, basically.
I think. I don't think they've limited the number of teams. I think they want to get as big as they can.
Yeah, they're definitely just continually trying to grow. I mean, the goal is to always make more money than the previous year. And like I know, excuse me, I think last year, we total organization raised almost $4 million, or right over $4 million. Wow. Awesome. So the goal was $5 million last year. We'll probably have something similar, if not higher, this year.
And Russell, how long have you been a member of Porkchopitoulas?
I've only officially been a member for, I guess this is going to be my second year, but I've kind of been affiliated with the team and kind of been out and about and pretending to be a member for maybe like 3 or 4 years.
Russell's just a little newbie over here.
Like a groupie?
Yeah, he was hanging around all the time.
I was going
doing stuff, so
drinking,
it only made sense.
Watching people cook.
That sounds familiar. And then you get voluntold. You know, we have a spot opening up. It's like you hang around a lot, so hint, hint, wink, wink. You know,
that's exactly what happened.
Okay, so you got about 30 members on the team. How did you guys do last year? If you have any information about how you did, like overall, or a specific category that you guys were good in.
We've gotten on stage a couple of times for a couple of different things. The last 3 years, around 30,000 is what we're bringing in as a team. I think we're going for 50 this year, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get close to that, if not hit that mark.
I know we've raised more money initially than...
Yeah, it's been a good year for sponsors. We've done pretty well in a couple of categories. Whole hog, we've gotten top 10 on, I think, at least once. We've gotten third place for pork puree when it was a couple years back,
which is your dish, right?
Yeah, that was.
Don't be modest.
That was. We just called it the Applejack Rose. It was just, when the thing was made, it kind of looked like a rose, but it had some pulled pork and bacon in it, and it was kind of like a sweet, salty type of thing going on. So we got third place in that. We've got second place, I think, in blue plate.
That's
category. That was Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah's dish. She made a flan that had mayonnaise in it, and it was like ridiculously good.
Yeah, it was awesome. She does some real creative stuff.
So what does y'all's typical menu look like? How many items do y'all usually have?
We have, it's usually 5 or 6.
And it depends on which day. So we'll have a Friday menu and a Saturday menu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Friday's a little bit less, just because it's less time. Sure. It starts later, but it's usually 5 or 6 things, and we have, in addition to that, we'll have hot dogs and some plain Jane stuff, just because there's a lot of kids there.
Sure.
People who want to eat.
We also have
stuff.
one very special item called the golden hot dog, which it's a hot dog with gold flakes sprinkled on top.
Somebody just wants to donate money.
Yeah, it's essentially a money donating thing. But I had somebody last year come up to me, and he's like, it was some college kids. They looked pretty drunk, but they're like, next year, whoever loses our our fantasy football league is going to be buying this. So I really hope that these people come back and buy our golden hot dog because I don't believe anybody has ever purchased it.
And now is that golden hot dog, is it served with ketchup?
That is up to the purchaser's discretion,
See, why not?
but probably so because that's how you should eat a hot dog.
Never.
And with mustard.
Mustard always.
I
Ketchup,
like
man.
both.
Yeah, why not both?
Well, if you're saying donation, I mean, it's edible, is it? Or no? You
Yes,
said
it
there's
is-
gold
it is edible.
flakes
You
on
got to
it.
take a bite to find out.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
So it's like the ones that's in Goldschlager. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's immediately what I thought is gold flecks of, Goldschlager on the hot dog, yeah.
Okay, so you said you have about 30 members on the team. So obviously, there's a lot of chefs in the kitchen. So do you guys assign certain people to certain dishes or to help with certain things?
Yeah, we'll just have calls ahead of time and figure all that stuff out. Sometimes we don't, and we figure it out the day of. But basically, people just volunteer for whatever they want to do, and they got people kind of do the same thing year to year. Sometimes we change it up, but we'll have people serving, we'll have people working the line, taking orders, and you got people cooking in the back, just like a restaurant. And of course, somebody always has to wash dishes. I don't know why that winds up being me a lot.
Scott usually always ends up washing dishes.
I know you looked over at Russell like he might be the guy doing it this year.
Maybe.
You know?
I don't know what happened to him. He'll disappear.
I get
Yeah,
thirsty. I got to go drink something.
It's a very, very fun time. Just 2 days out in the field. Everybody kind of putting in work and just out there having fun, music the whole time. It's a lot of guys you don't see every day too on the team, and I think we're always trying to grow. Anybody who wants to join up.
What are the hours like?
a
Like
good time.
from when to when are you out there?
Well, you kind of got to go the Thursday before. Everybody goes after work and just start setting stuff up,
Right.
and we'll get there early Friday morning and start setting up, start cooking everything. And I think the gates open at 3, so you need to be ready to sell.
The event's
for
Friday,
3.
Saturday, and Sunday, or just Friday?
No,
Saturday?
just Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
Friday from 3 till whenever. Saturday, I think 11.
And do
till-
y'all have,
till
a,
pretty
y'all have a
late.
set menu you have to make each day? Or like there's a certain type
Well,
of...
we set it.
Okay, so y'all can, I
Yeah.
mean, is there like rules of like, okay, obviously it has to be pork products?
No. Well, yeah. I mean, they.
For the competition stuff, I guess everything. Well, no, not everything has to be pork product, but for competition submission, it has to be.
Yeah, you can sell whatever you want.
Right.
It just every now and then teams will throw in 1 or 2 things that are not pork,
Right.
just to mix it up. Somebody wants something different.
Right, because I've
we
seen
had
like crawfish cook-offs have like meatball sliders that were made in the boil, but that's like nothing to do with the actual crawfish.
That
you know?
sounds wonderful.
Yeah, we did a crawfish boil fundraiser one year, and we bought way too many, so we kept them and froze them and took them out and made crawfish bread, and we sold it at the event, and it went like crazy. And there's we have some standard menu items that we do, and we try to mix it up, come up with new things every year. It just kind of depends on the equipment you can get out there and all of that.
Now, do the items that tend to place are those ones you have like consistently on the menu?
You mean the competition stuff?
Yeah.
So it's not the same. Like
Yeah.
competition items are submitted, and like they're not sold to the general public.
Oh.
They
Okay.
can be. They can
be.
Sometimes they are. It just depends on what it is. It depends on who's doing it. A lot of times the competition stuff is a lot harder to make that much to sell. But a lot of teams that do that. They sell the same thing they're turning in because a lot of people got good stuff.
Yeah.
We do have a couple staple items. So I think our biggest seller every year is a pork egg roll.
Yeah.
And it's not a traditional egg roll. It's
Yeah, they call it the spring roll, Porkchopitoulas roll, I think they call it. And it's just like an egg roll wrapper and pulled pork and some kind of vegetable mixture. And we have a nice little sauce that we make that we serve it with.
it's like it's in a triangle. And
It's
supposed to
it's
roll.
grilled. It's actually grilled.
They're very very good.
It's delicious.
Yeah, there's a
come
lot
out
of
for it.
egg rolls out there that aren't really egg rolls. It's just people are familiar with that fried, wrapping or whatever.
Yeah.
Like boudin egg rolls. I don't think there's actual egg in there.
Yeah, this is pretty good, big seller. We always do pretty well in ribs. We sell a lot of that. What's the one I'm missing? That one of the staples. Last year we did hog shots. So
Those were good.
Yeah, like a piece of sausage, bacon wrapped around it, and a cream cheese mixture with some other stuff in it, kind of sitting on top. Smoke it, a little crispy bacon. That went pretty well. We've done Kung Pao bacon.
That's a staple one.
Yeah,
Are we doing that again this year? I don't even remember.
It'll be something like that, either Kung Pao or some kind of fried rice thing. I'm not really sure yet. But we did pizza one year. We had a guy that had a pizza oven, and we had barbecue pork, pulled pork, red onion, barbecue sauce, that type of thing. We sold a ton of that. That's hard, man. It's a pain. It's a lot. So yeah, we're always looking for new ideas, different competition stuff to turn in.
Okay. Let's kind of let's talk about a little bit about Hogs itself. Like I want to go back to the fundraising aspect of it, but let's kind of maybe talk about the leading up to Hogs, getting there. So you get there on Thursday to do setup work. Obviously, you have work that starts well before that. You're prepping stuff for before Thursday and this and that. You get to Hogs on Friday. No day is probably typical. So you get there, you do your setup work. It starts. You said gates open at 3 for customers to come in and patrons to come in and purchase. What are the main categories at Hogs that for the competition side that you?
They have there's ribs, there's whole hog. Some of the sponsors they make a competition. So Blue Plate is a sponsor. So you have a Blue Plate turn in, basically put Blue Plate in something and turn it in. It was like the flan we did. I think there's a Tabasco turn in because they're a sponsor, and that's usually like a wing category, which I think is Friday. There's Potpourri, which is just go crazy, do anything off the wall that you can think of as long as you're using
Lanyap,
pork.
basically.
Lanyap, yeah.
You said sauce already. There's a sauce.
No, I didn't say sauce. That sauce is one. I think that's the main ones.
Yeah, I think you
Might
can.
be missing one.
There's a bacon one. I don't remember if you said.
Yeah, but that's Friday night. It's bacon night. So any variation of bacon you can turn in. That's a category. And there's other ones like fan favorite, which I think is it goes off of how much you sell. For the size of your table.
Y'all have the thing where patrons get like a token and they can vote, like drop it in y'all's bucket and vote. Or I know I've been on ones where they have the QR code and it pulls up all 50 booths and that's how you vote for which one you like the best. That kind of thing.
I'm pretty sure we have a QR code up at our bench when you come up to order, but I'm not sure how they rate it. I'm not sure how they go off of that. I think it's mostly off of sales. They got best Friday night party,
Okay.
which we're obviously never going to be on the map.
There's certain teams that
teams bringing in
go
hundreds of
hard for that.
thousands of dollars.
I'm trying to think like the what is it, the Battle for the Paddle that I do every year with my work in Luling. They have like Judge's Choice, People's Choice, and then I think it's like either sales or like best decorated. Like you even have a thing where you can decorate your booth.
Best booth, yeah, I think that's one of them. And again, they got some pretty big build-outs. I don't know. Have any of y'all been out to it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I went
Mr.
a few years ago.
Pigglesworth. So I know Mr. Pigglesworth does like a large setup. I'm friends with a bunch of those guys, so I know them. So I'm gonna rag on them a little bit when I can at any time because Stefan's on that team.
We miss you.
Yeah, he. I don't know how involved he's going to be with his team this year, but I think he will be out there. But so there's a lot of categories you can enter, and that typically, how many do you submit for competition though, or do you try to hit all of them if you could? I'm sure you probably
Our team in particular. I mean, I think we try to do all of them. We definitely do all of them. I don't think we've ever missed any of them.
Yeah, I feel like
that I
last
know
year
of.
we
Somebody always takes it on ahead of time, agrees to do it.
kind of last minute. I think with the bacon submission one was like, all right, I'll do something, and we threw something together.
Yeah, and that's we just leave it up to the person that agrees to do it, to bring all the stuff forward and handle the whole thing. And once it's happening, everybody kind of comes in and it's like, all right, what do you need? We're going to turn it in. The whole hog is interesting because I think it's different cuts from the whole hog, right? You do the whole thing and then you separate it and put it in the box however you want. That's a big one because guys got to sit out and all night and watch that. And the guys on our team, I got to give it to Wheeler and Cody, whoever else stays out there. They do a perfect cook on that hog every time. Although Wheeler can't even try it because he's got a gluten thing going on. So.
Oh, no.
That's
But,
How do y'all
but the
cook 'em?
the cook on it is like on point.
How do y'all cook them? The shells?
We just got a giant smoker just for the whole hog, and we have a couple of other ones for all the other stuff. Mm-hmm. And people just babysit it all night.
That's our St. Edward Cochon Fair. It's like they start Saturday night in the Cajun microwaves. They giant Dutch ovens that they were built, and they have and each one of them might have 50 butts in it, and it's all night checking the temp, moving stuff around, keeping the temperature
50
going.
butts in it.
It's a lot of butts.
Stuffed in there, yeah.
Ooh, stuffed butts.
Well, Wednesday isn't just butt stuffing night, if you remember the episode.
Yes, Wednesday night is butt stuffing night. Yeah.
What stuff? Butt
Butt
stuff.
So you try to submit as much as you can for the events. And you mentioned that you have some signature or staple dishes. Can you talk about what a couple items that you try to make every time? Maybe not so much for competition because you have to submit a certain thing. But what would you say you're most known for bringing the most and do consistently well?
I think the Porkchopitoulas roll is number one. We sell a lot of ribs, and the Kung Pao bacon sold a lot. We may be changing that up this year. I'm not sure, but it'll be something like that. Something pretty similar. We talked about maybe doing a poutine with some pulled pork, which I think would be a pretty good thing to sell. We also have every year we have a banana pudding, banana bacon pudding. Believe it or not.
Nice.
With all the pork stuff,
bacon bits in it.
Salty clash there.
You would think it's kind of a weird option, but people destroy it.
They
Just
tear it up.
bacon in it, some crumbled bacon on top, a couple Nilla wafers. That we sell a lot of that, and there's always a salad option too that we have. No pork in it, just a nice light, watermelon feta type of thing or something like that. And we have a couple of drinks
Putting
options.
some pulled pork on top of a salad doesn't sound that bad either.
No, it wouldn't be.
Shit, I missed the pulled pork nachos at the Zephyrs games.
Yeah.
Thirsty Thursday, get some pig nachos. Yeah, that used to be Thursday nights after work. Just go straight there.
And
I'm sorry. So, Scott, what would you say is your favorite experience about working Hogs for the Cause?
I think this is setting up and starting service. It's just nonstop shit talking and it's basically like a party the entire weekend. And everybody's there, everybody's working together.
Well, you did mention there's 30 people on your team. Some of them you may haven't seen in a while. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it's and again a lot of high school friends. And it's a festival. There's a concert going on. There's 2 stages, so I don't know how you could not have fun doing it. Even when it rains, it's fun. Especially getting there early Saturday morning and seeing all the zombies walking around. some of which had never made it home.
Right.
I've been there. So yeah.
Yeah, I went a few years back, and it was on a day that it rained, and it was very, very sloshy and muddy out there. But it's still a good time.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it briefly about Friday night there's a party. You said how you guys are probably not going to ever win best party atmosphere, but when you're done on Friday, what do you like to do? Do you stick around much for the party atmosphere, or?
Yeah. We always stay. We'll kind of close up shop and clean all the food up and everything, and we'll wander around in some of the tents. A lot of local talent, playing in different booths that we try to go see. And I usually make it to about 2:00 or something, and I can't handle it anymore. I've slept in my driver's seat one time out there, and it's not like there's a shower out there anymore. You just gotta wipe down and pour a bottle of water over your head and call it a day. Ever since then, I've been running home at some point. A few hours of sleep in a shower, it's like night and day. It's way better, but it's fun to see all the guys that didn't do that. That's entertaining.
Right. Russell, you say you've only been involved with the team for a couple of years now, officially. What's the wildest thing you've seen at the party on Friday night after the event,
Wildest thing.
or maybe that you've done that you can share?
Are you referencing something?
No,
specifically? Okay.
no. We can tell that story later if you.
No.
Yeah, we don't want to make you uncomfortable, Russ.
Friday Hogs nights where I don't exactly remember what happened, so things get crazy in that sense. Lots of heavy drinking, like the party, the big competition for the party stuff. I mean, you have people bringing in. I think Choppa played last year. Partners in Crime played.
Fiend.
Yeah,
I know Manny Fresh has been out
Manny
there.
Fresh, I think it was
a
2
bunch.
years
Yeah,
ago.
something
So
like
that's actually a party that you have to pay to get into, but like you can still go stand right outside.
I was
and,
going
like,
to say
hear
that's like
everything.
on a stage for everybody. Cause
Yeah,
when
so there's I forget the team. Do you remember which team that does that? It's in the corner by one
Boar's
of the
Nest?
stages. Yeah, Boar's Nest. They
Juvenile's been there.
Juvie's been there before.
Because when you're saying party atmosphere, like y'all have individual parties at each booth almost.
Different
And
tents. It's whatever they want to do.
okay.
One tent will have a couple of different, artists playing. Another tent will have
like
some
one
different-
tent will have Amanda Shaw under there playing
Yeah,
the fiddle.
I don't know if she's done it, but
For frame of reference, there's around 90 teams that participate. In this
Oh, wow.
event. And
Damn.
your booths will range in size from like roughly this room, which is what like a 15 by 15 booth, to I think ours is 30 by 30,
40.
40.
Yeah, 40
And then you got some
Yeah,
that are
they got way
people,
bigger than that.
triple the size of that, if not quadruple. Those bigger ones are typically where the parties happen. I'll give a shout out to my cousin Greg. So he plays, or he's on the team, Hoggy Style, and they have recently partnered with Fred's Bar from Baton Rouge. So they bring them in and have a pretty crazy party, and it's usually a pretty good time.
So you get through Friday, and like Scott said, that you might see some zombies on Saturday morning. You get up on Saturday, and what's kind of the routine for what happens on Saturday now that it probably opens a little bit earlier in the day? So you have more time, you have to prep probably more food. You're expecting a larger crowd as well, I'd imagine.
Speaking of crazier things you were asking Russell about, we did find somebody, there's porta potties out there for every tent. And one Saturday morning, they actually found a guy sleeping in a porta potty. He used the shoes for a pillow, I think. Not somebody from our team, just a random that was seeking shelter for the night. So that was.
I think I would sleep on the ground before I did that.
There's
That's a
plenty of
bold
people who are
choice.
doing that. I don't understand the choice, but
You got to be really bad off to be like,
Or,
what,
or
the porta
he
potty's
passed
home.
out taking a dump in there.
or puking.
Or that. Yeah.
So, yeah, but the first order of business is checking all the food, checking all that stuff, making sure you have enough of stuff. Second thing is, I think, probably making a screwdriver or a Bloody Mary or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody always comes through with breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
We typically have somebody that does, or at least we did last year, try and do like a team drink to make for like Saturday morning. I don't remember exactly. What we did last time.
We did orange whips.
Yeah, orange whips.
I would like to help with that this year.
This is why, and shout out, we were trying to get Christy Bradley on our team so she could come mix cocktails for us. Christy, if you're listening, please join our team.
All are welcome.
Good to know.
It's like we're waiting to find out if she's listening.
What you trying to say over there?
So have you ever had an emergency situation, like you wake up on Saturday morning, you do an inventory of like the food and what you got left, and you realize, oh shit, we have way less than of something, or we're out of supplies. Have you ever had an emergency, like a real emergency situation?
I was going to say, where do y'all get the supplies? Y'all have to provide it all yourself, or
Yeah, we gotta bring all that stuff. We usually make a restaurant depot run ahead of time, and we always have some kind of reefer out there. It's gotten bigger over the years. Early on it was just ice chests. Keeping everything, had to keep it iced down. But we've progressed to getting some bigger reefers, and now I think we're getting a refrigerated truck this year.
Cisco?
Yeah, somebody on the team had a connection, I think, but it's really nice being able to have your own walk-in with all that stuff in it. But I don't think we really had any emergencies like that. We've definitely had to send somebody to the store down the block to get certain items, like some rice or something like that. But all the main stuff we usually have covered pretty well.
And you roll through Saturday. They're selling a lot, this and that. How common is it to run out of, or how fast do you run out of a dish?
Sellout, you mean?
Yeah.
It's a crapshoot. I think we've done pretty well with figuring out how much we need. We always keep an inventory, a list of what we did the year before. But we've done a pretty good job of not running out. If we do, it tends to be it may have happened once in the past that I can remember. It was one item. I don't really remember that well. If we fully ran out, if we just got close and decided to buy more. But it's rare, I think, to run. And if we do, it's kind of like it's close enough to the end of the night. We're just going to sell out,
Right.
Type of thing.
Yeah, to the best of my memory, like we're running out of stuff right at the end of Saturday.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, if you're running out and selling out, that's a good thing.
No,
right?
yeah,
So it's never really a bad thing for the most part.
Yeah.
What else did I want to ask you? So, Russell, you fancy yourself a baker.
Yes.
Okay. Are you planning anything, or do you have anything on the table that you might be baking or preparing for this year?
So as of right now, the answer is no, but that's still kind of up in the air. We actually did talk about we have like team meetings throughout the whole year before. We'll go meet up and do at someone's camp, and we'll have people bring like, hey, if you have any ideas, bring like a dish so we can try it and see if we want to either sell this during a Friday or Saturday or like actually submit it to competition. So I actually made a couple different variations of some bacon macarons. And
I thought I remember you saying that. I was going to make a joke about it, but then I was like, wait a second. Did he actually say he did this at one point?
And they came up pretty good. It was early on when I was kind of still figuring out, like I figured out how to make the macaron, and I was still kind of messing around with like flavors and stuff. But nothing's been said about that. We did talk about potentially making regular macarons to just sell a little 3-pack because I think they would sell like really quickly.
Too, it's a lot of damn work.
It's just a lot of work. Yeah. I don't have enough equipment or like industrial size equipment to make that many for how much we would need.
Not yet.
Not yet.
When monetization happens, then we'll get you a fridge situation.
When you're making 3 cents per macaron.
Can you tell us if there's anything that you guys are maybe planning this year that's like a new dish or a new item that you're really excited about that you
I don't
think?
know if I want to give away this.
That's fine.
Talking about competition
I'm
terms
not asking
here.
for the recipe. Just do you have something special cooked up for this year you think will be a hit? You don't have to get into like what it is.
Yeah, I don't. I've tried it out the last few years. I'm hoping somebody else kind of takes up that role. I'm not sure who it'll be, but if you wait long enough, somebody will do it.
So Russell,
So Scott's still going to be the pork puree king. He's definitely submitting something this year.
I have nothing in mind.
okay.
At the moment, I have nothing in mind. I'm kind of working towards some of the whole hog stuff this year. I think I'm leaning over to that. Some of the seasoning, some of the injection, that type of thing. So I haven't done that yet. So I'm gonna try that out.
So we're about a month away right now from the actual start of Hogs.
I was going to say, what's the dates? It's
April 4th and 5th.
April 4th and 5th, yeah.
How close are you guys to having your menu done, ready, kind of prepared, or are you starting to do some last minute tweaks to maybe add an item, or maybe you had a couple sauces that you're kind of sampling and you haven't made a decision on that yet?
There's still a couple of things left. We have not had our final menu call yet, but that's definitely something we need to get done. Russell and I have had a couple of discussions about sauce, but we'll keep that in house.
Yeah, let's not talk about what we're going to do with that. I'm excited about that.
But yeah, I think we'll have the Porkchopitoulas rolls. We'll probably do the hog shots again, and we will probably have some kind of rice dish. We'll have the banana pudding. We'll have some kind of salad. We'll have a couple of lemonades, I think, out there. We usually do. We'll have the hot dog for the kids, and also, which I totally forgot to mention, every year we have just to help with the fundraising, a memorabilia company comes in. Do you remember the name of it?
Nope.
They're
Quality member right here.
They're in our tent.
We forgive you.
every
You've
year.
only been there 2 years.
They have mostly sports stuff, signed
Oh, nice.
items, jerseys, helmets.
Is that like Show Goat or something like that?
No. But they're if you come out to Porkchopitoulas tent, you'll see them under there. They got a whole setup.
It's a big setup. So
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff. They come to all our fundraisers. They're at the event every year. They have some movie stuff too. A lot of signed things.
Will they be there Friday and Saturday, or just
100%, yeah.
day?
No,
Okay,
they'll
both
be
days.
both
Okay,
days.
cool.
It's a cool
far as I
setup. I've even purchased stuff from them before. I bought a Becky Foss print that was signed.
Oh, nice.
It's got a bunch of cool stuff. It's like already framed. It's all nice.
We had a guy from work get a signed Ricky Jackson jersey.
Russell, have you purchased any sports stuff?
Of course I did. You know how big of a sports fan I am.
Are you going to buy? If there's a Tom Glavine, you got to buy it.
It's done. It's going to be mine.
Regardless of the price.
Yeah, we can start a GoFundMe somehow to get you a Tom Glavine piece of memorabilia.
We need a picture of him with the Glavine written on the jersey and him going to Tom Glavine and him having this puzzled look on his face. And why am I signing this?
That would be good.
Okay. Kind of wrapping up a little bit. You talked about the fundraiser, so we're going to give you a chance to kind of do any kind of promotion for your team and for the event that you want. What do you do in terms of fundraising? Like, do you do like a couple cook-offs? I see a lot of teams at some various city and state events doing like selling pulled pork and plates and stuff like that for like their fundraising events. What do you guys do for fundraising for the general public?
Years past, we've done a crawfish boil on the North Shore, and we'll always try to do one on the South Shore, just barbecue. We've done both. We've done a crawfish boil and some barbecue on the North Shore. We try to do one on each side of the lake. We've been pretty good about, individual members have been a little better this year about getting their own fundraising. So we haven't had to do one yet. We're still talking about it, but I kind of doubt at this point it's going to happen.
It's kind of getting down to crunch time.
But we're doing pretty well, though, with people just bringing in money from however they're getting it.
This year, we've definitely gotten more sponsored money to where we don't necessarily need to do the fundraising to try and raise more money.
I was going to say, y'all get your own sponsors for your one team, and y'all display them on your booth, or
That's right.
have a deal with how to,
We have a banner. We hang out front, and we put their names on it. There's a couple other things we can work out with sponsors, depending on what they want to do. And we have a 501c3. We got a form that we can give people if anybody wants to sponsor. Pro Dreams is the name of the memorabilia company. If anybody wants to check them out, Pro Dreams. And they do a great job. They have a ton of stuff, and they meet us for every event. Some of that money goes to the cause as well. So, pretty good company to deal with.
Nice.
We've had a lot of success with them.
And is there one specific person that handles like the sponsorship for your team, or like where if you have a potential sponsor, like maybe an upstart podcast or something that would be interested in maybe being a sponsor,
Right.
how would someone go out and reach out to you guys about a
group
potential
that has a
sponsorship?
logo such as this.
Yeah, we'd be happy to put your logo on there for money.
For money.
No. Yeah, I mean we can email the form to anybody who's interested in being a sponsor. We have a form we can email out, and I think there's some Instagram things if anybody wants to reach out on that. But that's about it. You ever heard of Kaisik? That's another one of our sponsors, and I can give a shout out to. But they do the ice chests and all that stuff. They're one of the big ones. They're there every year. And shout out to Kaisik for donating some ice chests and some other things that they do every time.
That's awesome. Absolutely. So this is the time. If you have any other sponsors you want to, or people you want to give a shout out to that have helped along the way, please let us know. Russell, if you have anything you want to say, any kind of recruiting tactics that you want to throw out there.
Just send our team some money, donate. Anybody, everybody.
Come hang out.
Yeah.
Come hang
Come
out.
hang
Come
out at
by
the event.
food.
Yeah, come by at the event, and it's usually a pretty fun time.
I'm looking at some old pictures. I'm trying to see what our other bigger sponsors were besides Kaisik. I don't have a great picture.
Let's see.
I can't see them. There's Kaisik's right there on the top.
Yeah, I was going to say a tip for sponsors. We do this for St. Edward for different events is to promise the sponsors that you'll share their logo on Facebook and stuff like that. And, we'll do that. Like, say we have 20 sponsors, and each day of the week we'll put 4 logos up and say shout out to these 4 sponsors this week, and just get some more exposure. Maybe tag the pages of those places or something. And you can promise that to the sponsors, and they oh, that's awesome. It gets us out there. It just might get y'all more sponsors, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Well, I'm going to do my part to help with your exposure and hopefully some sponsorship for you. I'll be out there Friday and Saturday. I think Travis is going to join me one day.
I'll be
Todd
there Friday.
Todd will be there, I think, on Saturday possibly. Obviously, Russell will be there already. Mike and Sean will kind of figure out. But I'll be there kind of live on Friday and Saturday with video, kind of showing the behind the scenes of you guys setting up and prepping the food and showing all the work that it goes into. We'll live stream that for you. And then once the gates open, we'll come back maybe try to hopefully interview some people and see how they like your food. Get them on air. Doesn't matter how drunked up they are. That the drunker the better. It could be better. Who knows?
And
that'll
y'all have merch, y'all have swag and stuff
We
like
do.
that?
There's going to be something there. I'm not sure what it'll be this year. We usually have koozies or
We always have
hats or
koozies
something
and
like that.
hats.
Because I love that logo. I'd absolutely
It
wear
really
it.
is a
I'd
good
wear a
logo.
shirt. I'd wear a hat with that.
We've heard a lot about selling merch that it seems to be something people ask for. That we,
How'd y'all come up with that logo?
that was before my time, sir.
Uh-huh.
But it's a good one. Yeah, that one's been around for a while.
I mean, it looks like it could be, hit up for some copyright, but because it's that New Orleans style.
It's like street ties.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm sure somebody's figured that out. Thought about that over the years if it's been around for a while.
Yeah, we'll definitely have some stuff out there to sell.
Nice.
I know we were talking, like, after last year, we were talking about doing, like, shirts to sell and hats, but I don't know if we're actually going to be doing that. I know I will be personally making my own hat to show off and hopefully get some people inspired to be like, that's a cool hat. We should probably sell those.
You
Is
can
that
put
going to be the Wasted Wagons hat or the Porkchopitoulas?
Well, I'm going to have one of each.
One of each. Okay.
you can put me down for a Porkchopitoulas hat for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know the logo. I have the logo because I'm doing some work for you guys on the video and I guess some of the apparel side and helping out with that. So it's a great logo. Not even just your New Orleans street themed styled shirt. The blue pig logo is actually very cool as well.
Yeah.
Before we close out this interview, there's certain questions that we ask all of our guests on here.
Oh boy.
Now, these questions may not have any rhyme or reason, and you just have to choose one or the other. If you want to elaborate on your answer, you can. The first one: pumpkin spice or chips and salsa?
Chips and salsa. Not even close.
Attaboy.
Yeah, that's my name.
Yeah, that one's starting to get outnumbered. All right. Pizza rolls or bagel bites?
Pizza rolls.
Okay.
No question.
That's starting to get lopsided, too. Man.
I wonder why.
All right. And then the last one is Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Okay.
Do we want to ask
Do you even
one
have
more?
to ask that one?
I had right.
Russell, do you have a question for Scott that you want to ask?
In the spirit of Mike, let me channel Mike for a second.
What, being a bad teammate?
Boxers or briefs?
Oh Jesus.
I have boxer briefs.
Okay.
I think that's why we kind of got rid of that one. Everybody's like, box of briefs.
Would you like to elaborate on what type of boxer briefs you have?
Under Armour.
Are they the
Under Armour.
The
Do they have the ball pouch?
satchel?
Well, I have some for the catch, and some regular. Depends on what I'm doing. Come on.
Now, if it's a hot, steamy Saturday at Hogs,
It's a perfect for the ball catcher. Yeah.
I was going to ask, maybe do you free ball it just because?
No, that's bad news.
Maybe we can sell some ball sack underwear branded Porkchopitoulas.
If you could find a way to put a ham
quad?
on each cheek on the boxers,
Porkchopitoulas
or the-
big on
yeah,
each
I think that would
yeah,
sell.
your hog logo on the front, and then just two hams
Right.
on the cheeks on the back,
This on the ball catcher.
or yeah, 100% on
ham
that.
on each.
Hey, I
a
got
good idea.
I got a merch
Or
guy.
y'all's-
I got a
y'all-
merch person I can turn you on to. You can get this off the
Y'all's
ground.
lady teammates wearing, the booty shorts with the pig logo on each cheek facing each other. It's like, oh yeah, that would.
You'll find a wife out there at some point if you go out there chugging wine from way up here at some point. Pretty sure I have video of it. But it's a good time. Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you out there.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I guess on the way out, is there one last time? Is there anything you want to promote or say or tell the people about your team or the event itself before we close out?
We always have a good crowd in there. We may or may not have a golf simulator back at the tent. We've had that years
Oh,
past.
sweet.
I'm not sure. It's difficult with the wind and the way you got to set it up. But that was one way we used to raise a little extra money. You put in, and we had a longest drive contest and a couple things like that.
Oh, nice.
But the room under the tent is limited. It depends on a lot of things. So we're trying to get that going. That may or not be there, but we'll have a good time. It's a lot of people out there. It seems to be growing, and hopefully everybody can come out and see Team Porkchopitoulas and party.
All right. Well, April 4th and 5th, 2025.
Yep.
Go to Hogs For The Cause and check out Porkchopitoulas. You heard it here from the Wasted Wagons.
Russell, anything?
No, just come check us out. Come say hello.
And spend your money and donate for pediatric brain cancer.
That's correct.
Eat a lot of pork.
Yeah.
Tasty pork.
And on that note, Wagons
Wagons
out.
out.
Wagons out.